Hey guys, welcome to TheVaultProScooters. We are on the infamous red couch. Today's guest, we have the man.
Hey, I'm Don Marconi.
And Don Marconi is the owner of Aztek. So if you clicked on this video looking to get a view at this beautiful deck right here, I am sorry, you're gonna have to watch the unboxing we just did. So check it out, link in the description or click somewhere, right? Yeah, definitely click somewhere and you can go check out all to do with that siren. But this isn't about the deck, this is about the man behind the deck. So Dom, what got you into the scooter scene?
Well, I probably started riding about, I think it was Christmas of 2005. That's when my dad got me a scooter.
What was it?
Ultra Pro? It was a Razor A model.
A model, nice.
Yeah.
So that was the one with like the really thin foldy mech, right?
Yeah, it had the steel folding mechanism and threaded forks and all that.
How long after you had that did you start trying to do tricks on it?
As soon as it was warm enough to go outside and start riding it, really.
Right.
He actually got the scooter for my sister and she never rode it, so I just started riding it.
So what color was it?
It was a blue one.
It was a blue one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Gender neutral there. I was worried you started on the pink wheels. I was going to be like right on, getting it going from the beginning. So when you're riding on that terrible A model, did you have any homies you rode with or just solo?
I would just take the scooter around town and just like hit street spots, didn't have transportation to get to skate park, so I pretty much grew up just riding street at like a bunch of different schools around my city.
What was the trick list back then? Holding down that pogo?
It started out with 180s and 360s, 3 taps.
3 taps, so like the 180 back wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually got tail whips and stuff. I scooted for a very long time, with just a couple tricks in my book.
Yeah, it was all about the fun.
Yeah.
How long before you started seeing that, like the real potential? I definitely remember when I watched the first Cody Donovan DSC footage and went,
right.
Whoa, you can do that?
I don't know. There was definitely a turning point when I found out about the scooter resource. And that's when I started to realize that there's more than just like me and an A model in my driveway, because then I found other people who ride and I found out there was people who were actually modifying scooters. There was people were making videos and doing actually cool stuff with this scooter, whereas before I thought I was maybe one of the only people doing this.
So how soon after realizing people were modifying did you just start going all in and making your own parts?
Yeah, so I started making up different like modifications, whereas before bolting folding mechanisms and bars and wheels and everything, that was all like common stuff. But I started to actually get a little more complex and start modifying them in other new ways and making stuff up.
Did you ever sell any of your modifications?
Yeah, I mean, I've made some bars and made various forks and stuff and sold them.
Selling those all through SR?
Yeah, just I'd bolt like some forks, like forks we used to have forks that had shocks on them. You could take out the springs, replace them with some steel, and then you'd have like a nice, really solid fork.
Yeah, those are a big difference there.
And I'd make handlebars and all kinds of stuff, modify some brakes.
Put in a real BMX headset.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
How shortly after did you get an unthreaded fork?
I probably didn't get my first threadless fork until maybe 2009.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Struggle.
I think my first threadless fork was the French ID fork, which I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but I believe that was the first threadless fork.
It might be. I'm a little bit shady on that one too, but I do remember seeing that.
You know what? That's totally wrong.
Which one was
SR
it?
fork was the
first.
SR
fork?
Yeah, the SR fork was the first threadless fork, and then the French ID came after that.
But
that was the first.
The SR fork would cut off a razor fork and then do it on top of it. So it was threadless, but it wasn't quite what we needed.
Right. Yeah, it was maybe they were threaded in the beginning and then they started modifying them to become threadless.
Yeah, eventually the whole tube became manufactured to be threadless and actually nice because it was crazy. You guys don't know the struggle it was to scooter. Right now you can watch unboxings of a 6x23-inch Aztec siren deck, shameless plug there, but this we wouldn't even know what we were looking at. We're like, what?
Yeah, when I started scootering, there was really no brands around at all. We had Scooter Resource, which was making buff bars, and they made SR forks too. Then we had Wii Scooters, which I believe was in Estonia. They were making T-bars.
I bought a pair of those.
Yeah. and there really wasn't a lot to ride.
Slowly
it was, if you
inward.
wanted a nice scooter, you had to make it yourself, really,
Yeah.
which didn't allow for the scene to really grow too much.
And then as soon as companies started jumping in, just an explosion of the scene. What do you think about the scene today?
I think it's great. I mean, I think scooter products are at like a whole new level today compared to what they were before, and I think they're only going to keep getting better.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that the market's still being innovated. Everyone's trying to push. I mean, with scootering, we're borrowing technologies from other industries, and we're still trying to make it our own. So we're getting a ton of new products still coming out. We're getting dimensions coming down. Like decks look so different. Look at skateboarding, BMX, all those. Everything's pretty much set in stone of what works. It's pretty fun. We're kind of like in the Wild West. Everyone's still like, no, you got to try this. 5 different compression systems drive me nuts.
Right.
But I do like that you're doing what compression only?
SCS.
Yes. SCS, strongest. You use those aluminum Aztec bars. Man, I'm good at the shameless plug. I got
Right.
you. And then you're still going to have a light scooter. So
Yeah.
SCS is good.
Yeah, it is the lightest setup you could ride unless you're going to cheat by using a small fork tube.
So you are the sole owner and everything behind Aztec, right?
Yeah, I do just about everything myself.
What don't you do?
Well, if I need some graphics done, I'll have, some friends do it, like Ryan Upchurch or Ben Bursell. Of course, I have a team too, and they do all the scootering for me.
Yeah,
So,
they're out there killing it,
yeah,
man.
I still ride all the time, though.
I'm looking forward to some heavy video parts dropping this year
Yeah.
here.
This summer, we should have one of the most insane videos ever made coming out from our team rider, Logan Fuller.
And then what was it like to start your own company? Was it scary? Did you kind of just jump into it full force and have no headaches?
I first had the idea to start a scooter company in January of 2013. It was right back after I got back from a trip to San Diego to ride with the guys from AO. And, I realized that I had a lot I could contribute to scootering by helping to design these parts. So I went for it. After I got back, the process of really sorting everything out and deciding where I wanted to go with the company was probably a year or two, and because when you're in college and you want to,
I want to start a company.
yeah, if you want to start a company, it's like you got a lot to handle, and there's a lot of different routes you could take to get there. So it's going things like, okay, where do you want to manufacture? How are you going to sell it? Where's it going to get distributed and all that? So that's all decisions I had to make before I really could start moving with the company. You need to know who's going to pay for it, who's going to finance the whole operation, and all those things you got to figure out.
So pretty daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did it, man.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here
It took some
without
time, but it was, everything worked out beautifully.
Worth it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Anything you do different?
Absolutely not.
Right on. That's a
Yeah.
man of confidence right there. What is the design process like? If you're looking at any of your products, you can see they're well thought out, cutting out weight, keeping strength, really changing some of the market. Undeniably, you absolutely changed the deck end inserts with the first fountain deck. So kudos there. So we know you got some tricks up your sleeve. What is that designing process like?
Well, okay, I started teaching myself to learn how to use CAD software in high school, and I designed products for a company back then called Vertex. I started making designs for myself, for the future. And so, I spend probably 5 to 10 hours a week, I'd say, on average, just always designing product. I'll design a deck or a fork one day, and then, each day I'll keep coming back and I'll redesign it, and I'll look at it and I'll say, okay, I can make it just a little bit better by changing this. And then I'll sleep on it, and then I'll come back and repeat the process every day. And sometimes that process goes on for months and months, but the turnout is that you end up having like a really incredible product that you're really excited about.
And then we got one more little game for you. This is this or that. I'm going to name 2 things, and you choose which one of it, just so we can get inside Dom's head a little bit more.
Let's do it.
Xbox or PlayStation?
I don't play neither.
Nah, that's a fail.
None whatsoever.
Tail whip or heel whip?
I don't know. I'd suppose a tail whip.
Ooh. Pandora or Spotify?
Spotify all the way.
Spotify Premium?
Of course.
Okay. Mani pad or flat bar?
If you had asked me a couple years ago, I would have said mani pad, but now I'd say flat bar.
Yeah, times are changing. Flat bars are fun.
Nice 12 inches high, and then it's got to be a round bar too.
Round bar. You don't like the flat?
Yeah, I used to like the flat bar, and now I'm more into the round bars.
I'm still loving those flat bars, but I know I gotta touch the rounds. Street plaza or DIY?
Oh geez, that's a tough one. But I'd probably say DIY.
Pegs or no pegs?
And no pegs.
Cut. Aluminum or steel bars?
I'd probably say aluminum.
Just because of those beautiful Aztec aluminum bars?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm killing it. T-bars or Y-bars?
I'd say T-bars.
T-bars. Instagram or YouTube?
YouTube.
Taylor Swift or Katy Perry?
Katy Perry.
All right, I like that one.
That's an easy one.
Do you ride with music or no music?
I never ride with music.
Really?
Yeah, can't do it.
I do about half and
See,
half.
if I can't hear, I can't scooter. I have to be able to hear every little thing when I'm scootering.
But you got Spotify Premium, though. You can make your playlist.
Yeah, that's for driving.
That's for driving. Yeah, a Katy Perry playlist for shredding the round flat bar at the DIY.
I don't know.
Doing tail whips without pegs and your aluminum bars. See,
I really
we
do.
know them well.
I think listening to the scooter helps you improve your riding.
Depending on the sesh. If I have a good jam that's playing in my head, sometimes I get way into the riding.
I'm okay with music on the speakers, but in the headphones, that's what I have a problem with.
Okay, actually, yeah. I would substitute like a good sound system at a skate park and some good music where everyone's hearing it.
Oh yeah.
Versus just solo.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that once. Woodward East. DJ Curb Cut came to the park and absolutely killed the sesh. It was good.
Nice.
And then this last question is very loaded. 6 inches wide or 5 inches wide?
6 inches, of course.
Of course. All right, guys. Now you know the man, Dom Marconi, just a little bit better. Hopefully this sheds some light on who's behind Aztec and just who he is. One heck of a guy. We're proud to have you here.
Thanks, man. It's great to be here.
All right, guys. Check out all of our other videos on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on Instagram, Snapchat, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Later.